and welcome. My name is Lexi Jong, and here I like to talk about luxury makeup. Today, we're talking about the NARS Climax palette. A little bit behind on this. You know, I haven't really purchased things from NARS in years. It's been a very, very long time. And I didn't pick this up when it first came out. And then I kept seeing all these photos and yeah, I got sucked in. So this is the NARS Climax palette. And this is 0.05 ounces or 1.5 grams for each shadow. There are 9 shades here. And it's made in Italy with a 1-year lifespan or expiration. And it retails for $49 US at a variety of retailers. I do have them linked down below in the description box. And two of the people who really kind of convinced me to purchase this, among many of you viewers, were actually Just Glow Firefly and A March Beauty, Aileen. And I have their videos linked down below in the description box as well if you are interested in checking those out. But this palette is really pretty. So I have 3 looks that I'm going to share with you. And then let's start off with swatches. So this is the first row. Okay, so you can see we start off with a couple mattes and then look at that metallic. Okay, so here is row number 2. Got a couple more metallics here and then a satin. So pretty. And this is the third row. And this is the NARS Climax palette. So for me, what really drew me in were these metallic shades here and this brown satin. So this one, the green, this brown satin, and this blue were the ones that really called to me. These metallic shades, they actually perform more like a cream on your lid, meaning the way that it kind of like blends out and so forth. It adheres a bit to the lid, so, you know, it doesn't smooth out in quite the same fashion as a powder does. It performs more like a cream. I have to say that all of these shadows perform very well. They're all pigmented. They all last all day on the lids. You know, I have done a look that is, I'm not sure if I filmed it actually, but an all matte look on the eyes. No issues with that. You know, I think this brown satin is a beautiful one and done. If you want to do like a brown smoky eye, it's gorgeous. I really love pairing this one with this more like taupey champagne shade. And for me, the best part about this palette though, it's the metallics. So as nice as these matte shades are and the satin, what made me buy this are these metallic shades, and they don't disappoint. I think they are gorgeous. The performance is great. Right now I have on primarily the blue and the green. I really love them. I think they are gorgeous. And I've been wearing this for a while. So probably about, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours. And this is, you know, how it has lasted for that amount of time so far. And let's go ahead, check out the looks that I have with this palette. And then we're going to come back and talk a little bit more about this. We are going to start with the NARS Climax palette. And I'm taking the Ref for 15. I'm going to go into this rosy matte shade here. Lots of pigment came up, so I'm just going to dab that on my cloth. And I have the NARS eyeshadow base on, the original one with the white tube. Okay, and next I'm going to take the same brush into the matte green and just going to get a little bit here, dab it on the cloth again, and I'm just going to kind of pounce that in the outer corner here. All right, and then I'm taking the Ref for 28. I'm going to go into this brown shade here, and yeah, we're just going to see how this goes on. Look at that, that's really smooth. Okay, I wiped off the brush. Now we're going to go into this top right shade, and it's like a brown sparkly shade, little champagne-ish brown. I'll put this on the inner portion. And then I wiped off the brush. We're going to go into the green shade like this. And I just dabbed off any excess. Just going to dab this on top here. I'm just going to get a little bit more of this shade here and just kind of go over the edges with the green. Extending it just a little bit closer to the halfway point there. To say this one is super sparkly. The green doesn't seem quite as vibrant. Let's add a little bit more of that. It's just not as sparkly. All right, just going back in with the crease brush, no shadow. Just clean that up a little bit. And then for the lower lash line, I'm just going to go into this matte green, and I'm just going to use the tip of this brush, and I'm just dabbing it off a little bit on the cloth. And just going to put that on here. You can see I do have a little bit of fallout. Part of that is from not truly tapping off my brush. You can see pigment here. Okay, I'm just going to get a little bit of this matte, kind of whatever, this light matte shade. Just going to put this inner portion here. Taking a little touch of the sparkly shade and just adding a little bit of that to the inner corner. And that's it. I'm just going to put some brown eyeliner there and some mascara. I'll see you in a second. All right, so this is the final look up close. I added the Chanel Stylo Yeux eyeliner in 20 Espresso and the Chanel Le Volume de Chanel base and mascara. This is the eye look from a distance. All right, so I have the NARS eye primer on. This is the Nude Crease Pro. We're gonna go into this like light mauve shade. We're gonna just put this all over the crease. Okay, and then I'm gonna go into this like burgundy shade with just like a little tiny bit on the very, very tip. You can see, and I'm just gonna dab that on my cloth once. And I'm very, very gently putting that right in the crease. And I'm being careful to stay targeted there. Wiped off the brush and just making sure that that is blended nicely. And then I'm gonna go back into this shade here, and this time I'm gonna put a little bit on the outer corner here, or the outer third. Get a little bit more there. All right, and next I'm gonna go into this shade here with my finger, and look at that. I'm just gonna put this all over here. This is very creamy, definitely metallic. Like when you touch it, you can feel the metallic particles. And then just taking the crease brush with nothing on it and going over that area. And then for the inner corner, I'm taking the Rephr 26. I'm gonna go into this shade up here, and I'm gonna put a little bit of this in the inner corner of the eye. And for the lower lash line, I'm going into this brown, just a little bit on the tip here. So that is too much. Just dabbing that on my cloth, so I just have a tiny bit. And just gonna softly put that underneath. You can see that's getting pigmented, so I just have pigment from the outer half. We're gonna leave it like that and then blend it. So I wiped off the brush pretty well, and actually I'm gonna get a little bit of this light matte shade here on the brush, and I'm going to take this on the inner portion and just kind of go over everything there so it blends nicely. I'm going to take the Chanel Cielo Ya in number 36 Prune Intense, and I'm going to line the upper lashes with this. So this is the eye look up close. Going to add some mascara. I'll finish my makeup. See you in a second. And this is the final look from a distance. I haven't done lips yet, but this is it. So I have on the Guerlain High Perfection Foundation in 00N and the Sisley L'Orchidee blush in number 1, which is like the brownish one. And that's basically it. Okay, so I am using the La Bouche Rouge crease brush, and I'm going to go into the lightest shade here, and just going to put this all in the crease. And taking the same brush, I'm going to go into this brown and just dab a little bit of this on the outer corner here. Wiped off the brush and just going to softly blend the crease. I'm going to take the Builder brush from the Sonia G Lotus set, and we're going to move into the blue. Wiped off the brush, I'm going to go into the green metallic. And just going back with this crease brush, just going to kind of clean up this area a little bit. And these metallic shades, they actually seem to perform more like a cream product than a powder. Taking the Smudger one from Sonia G, I'm going to go into this brighter like peachy shade here. And this is going to go for the inner corner. And for the lower lash line, I'm going to go into this more brown taupey metallic shade. And I'm using the Smudger one for this. And then I'm going to take the Chantecaille. This is the Brightening Eye Kaujal in Nude. I'm just going to put this on the lower waterline. And for the eyeliner, I'm taking the Sisley Phyto Kohl Star. This is one of the new matte ones in Matte Jungle. So it's a green. All right, I'm going to add some mascara, finish my makeup. I'll see you in a second. And this is the final look from a distance. So for makeup, today I have on the Koh Gen Do Moisture Foundation in 012, the Makeup by Mario Cream Blush in Earthy Pink, and the Westman Atelier Contour Stick in Biscuit. On my lips, it's the Dior lip pencil and lipstick in 100 Nude Look, and the Jones Road Brow Pencil. And highlight is Guerlain Meteorites Pearl Dust palette, which is still like my favorite. One of them. All right, so I hope that was helpful. I actually don't have a ton of comparisons that we're going to do today. This green is actually a unique shade to my collection. So you can see here that, I'm not sure if you can really see, there is a little bit of like golden sparkle in there. Really beautiful, but even when you like kind of blend out this, it doesn't have a strong black base. It's more of like a grayish brown base there, which I think, you know, I think that makes a big difference. And then that golden sparkle, all of these metallic shades are really beautiful. This is a really pretty like peachy shade. And this one here is almost like a taupey champagne, but there's a little bit of like an essence of peach in there as well. So it doesn't quite match others that I have. You know, others that I have are a little bit more ivory. So I think that's, you know, pretty unique. Going from the top, let's start from the top. So this shade here, this first shade is going to be like this matte, warm, it's like a warm tan taupe. So, you know, it looks, got it here. I think it looks lighter in the pan. It actually looks a little bit more pinkish in the pan versus on the skin where it actually looks a little bit peachier. And I did have one shade that, oh no, not for that one actually. So this next shade though, I have one shade that I want to compare this to. This is the Dior Rosewood Matte. And this is one of the singles. So we're gonna put this right here, so you can kind of see how those compare. And you can see the one in the NARS palette is going to be a little bit cooler in tone. It's a little bit more mauve toned versus the Dior, which has a little bit more of that like reddish orange base to it. So it's going to be warmer. So two mattes here. Again, this is kind of like a rosewood type of shade. We covered this one here, which looks like a champagne sparkle, but it actually has like a touch of peachiness to it. This is more of a true peach soft orange kind of shade. And then this green metallic has, it's like a grayish base, but it looks like there's a touch of brown mixed into that as well. And just the nature of the shade here, you know, because this is such a much deeper shade in general than these, you know, it's just as metallic, but it doesn't catch the light quite as much. And then we have this brown satin. I have two shades I want to compare this to. The first thing it reminded me of is the Chantecaille leopard shade that just came out. So let's take a look at that. You can see that the Chantecaille leopard is a little bit redder. There's a little bit more red in the Chantecaille versus the NARS. And then the other one here is the Dior single in Poncho, which is number 481. And let's put that right there. It's going to be a little bit lighter in color. Again, it's also going to be a little bit warmer. Then we have this like olive green shade, which honestly is a shade I don't really wear too much of in general, but it works really well with this palette. So I actually did find myself reaching for it. And then we have a matte burgundy here as well, which, you know, I think works great as an accent color. I think it's pretty. And then here is the metallic blue. And just like the green, you can see we have this like grayish base with a touch of like cocoa brown in there. And I think the green and the blue are pretty comparable in the amount of light reflection that you get from that. I do not have a blue shade quite like this. All of the other ones I have are way more like bright, like more of like a teal blue or something like that, or they're more of like a navy. So these shades are unique to my collection, and that was the reason I purchased this. So to say, I really do like this palette. I think performance is there, and yeah, I'm really impressed with this. So I think normally I see a lot of NARS stuff and I'm kind of, you know, I kind of don't pay that much attention to it, but I think I'm going to have to start because I'm really impressed with this one. So I would love to know if you have any thoughts or comments on this palette, what you guys think. If there are any particular comparisons or anything that you would like to see, I will be doing an update video in the next week or so. So please leave those down below or DM me on Instagram at AlexisJong, and I will be sure to include those then. And yeah, this is beautiful. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this was helpful. And if you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I'll see you very soon. Have a great day and stay safe and healthy.